is now in session. No eating in the family. No eating. Okay. First item we have on the agenda is 2014-788. It's an ordinance by Stein. We got a letter to approve. An ordinance adopting the capital improvement budget. You can't hear me? Okay. An ordinance to adopt the capital improvement budgets and programs 2014-2015 through 2019 and 2020 for Metro as the official capital improvement budget and program of the Metro for the fiscal year of 2014-2015. And is there a motion? It's been moved and second. Questions? All in favor? It's my understanding this is going to be approved and then we refer to planning and zoning. All in favor? Who said aye? 788 is approved. The next item is 2014-1109. Resolution by Hunt, a resolution to establish a new application fee for a contextual overlay. It's my understanding this particular bill is to be deferred for one meeting to track with the text amendment, which is Amendment 771. Okay, it's to be approved. Yeah. Okay, John.
If this bill gets deferred in committee, then it's automatically deferred tomorrow night, which means it would no longer be tracking with the contextual overlay bill. So to keep it tracking, it would need to be approved and re-referred to the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Sounds good. That's what we did the other one. Motion, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
1109?
Okay, 1109 will be is approved and be re-referred to track with the amendment 771. Okay. The next item is resolution 1118. Todd Stein and others, a resolution approving the intergovernment license agreements with the state and Department of Transportation for the use of, and benefit of the Board of Parks and Recreation in the construction and maintenance of pedestrian crossing at Edwin Warner Park. We do have a letter to approve. Is there a motion? Got moved in a second. Do you have a question? Okay, are there questions? All in favor? 1118 is approved. Next item is 2014-780, an ordinance naming a bridge over the South Harpert on Highway 96 at Old Harding Pike in honor of Lord Linton. Second, it's been got a motion and a second. Questions? All in favor? 780 is approved. Next item is Bill 2014-783. Anthony Davis, Stein and others. This is an ordinance to acquire all or a portion of the property located at 864 Idlewild Drive for the construction of the Clean Water Nashville Overflow Abatement Program project. Councilman Davis, I'll get back to you in a minute, okay?
Thanks to Councilman Tigard. We deferred this 4 meetings, I believe, in budget, so if someone would make that motion on planning, I would support that, I guess.
Okay, let me get back to that motion. I want to get to...
I'm not making the motion because I'm not on your committee,
okay.
But if someone does want to.
Okay, hang on. Councilman Bedney?
Thank you, Chair. This is a question for John Cooper.
John, you got a question for you?
Yes, the question for you is, it's a policy question. During the conversation we recently had during budget, there was a conversation about, what comes before the carriage or the horse. And I understand that if we empower an agency to go and buy the land, but then if before that we have to have a committee, that will hinder the ability of them getting the property at a good price. So the question will be, how can, and I don't know if this is a question for you, or how can we improve the system to where we can have as much community input on purchasing land without tying the hands of the agencies that are trying to find the property for us. So, I mean, we heard before during budget that we have to be good stewards of the city's money, but at the same time, we also made a commitment to heed to the needs and the wants of the people that live in the community. So I guess that's a wrong question. It's a policy question, but how we will go about studying what is the most cost-effective way to do that? Is that something we can ask the departments for feedback?
I think the departments that frequently acquire property, such as the water department, I mean, I think they could look at their policies, but, I mean, it is a balancing act. I mean, you can't get too far down the road before you have the authority to even negotiate to acquire the property, which is what this is authorizing. Mm-hmm. So how they handle public input, that would be a departmental policy decision, and it's something that they could look at.
Can I ask you to send a letter to department heads asking them for feedback on this to see how we can fine-tune this process? Because we do need to empower them to get good prices for purchasing the land for our city systems, but at the same time, we do need to make sure that we're listening to the people. And then a follow-up question, I'm sorry to interrupt you, will be, if it turns out that that's the best possible property, is it included in the budget ways to disguise or to screen or to hide whatever construction, because this tank is going to be a big tank in the city next to a neighborhood. Is it a budget item on how to customize that tank so it doesn't look like an eyesore?
It would be part of the overall capital spending plan for Metro Water, implementing the consent decree. So the budget for that facility or those facilities would be included as part of that. Now, whether they have funds to do any kind of additional screening, I don't know. The water department would have to answer that.
And so if I wanted to ask them to add up the cost of screening a tank and the cost of buying the property, to add those two up and not just to buy a property based on cost of the property purchase, how do I go about getting them to look at the overall cost of the impact and the cost of buying the property? How do we go about asking them to give us a better way to estimate how much will it cost to lay down this project?
I'm not sure. I mean, the department can probably tell you they probably have projections for how much this facility is going to cost, and may be able to give you, I don't know if they have that tonight or not, but I think that's something that they could give you before the council votes on whether to acquire the property.
Because I'm asking this because of the same way again, I know this is a budget question. I'm sorry, Chair, for going on this, but our departments are buying property like the school system. When they buy a piece of land to build a school, I wanted them to look at the overall cost and not just the cost of the property. So I would like the stormwater department, all the different departments to do the same. You know, when they buy a property, not to just look at the cost of the property, but the overall cost of the impact on the community. So if you can send a letter to ask them for feedback, I appreciate that.
Okay, can we talk
Yes.
offline tomorrow to make sure
Yeah.
I'm getting exactly what you're looking for?
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Sure. And I would like to make a motion to defer, just like Anthony Davis requested,
Okay,
for 4 meetings.
we have a motion to defer 4 meetings to track with Charlie's motion, and is there a second? It's been moved in second. Questions?
Charlie, in the budget, did the deferral.
Councilman Glover?
Chair.
Hold on.
Mr. Coop,
Hold on.
Are we there? There we go.
Yeah.
Mr. Cooper, real quickly, and thank you for the deferral for 4 meetings. I know Councilman Garrett and Councilman Tygart maybe had a little difference on the timing. Just because the committee recommends a 4-meeting deferral, if by tomorrow night they say, oh, 2 meetings will be okay, it can be moved on the floor as such. Is that correct?
Yes, anything other than a 1-meeting deferral has no bearing on the council. So tomorrow night's motion could be anything.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cooper. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Okay, Bill 2014-783 is deferred for 4 meetings.
We didn't vote.
Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. Thought we voted on that. Is there a motion? Second? All in favor? Thank you. Bill 783 is approved. The next bill is 2014-784. Langston, Holloman, and others, an ordinance to negotiate and accept permanent and temporary easement for the I-440 South Sewer Relocation Project. Is there a motion?
Move.
Second? It's been moved and second. Questions? All in favor? 784 is approved. The next item is 2014-785, Baker, Stein, and others. I have a letter to approve for an ordinance to acquire property through negotiation, condemnation, or fee simple take for the construction of the Davidson Branch Equalization Facility. Is there a motion? Second is moved and second. Are there questions? All in favor? 785 is approved. Next item is 2014-786, Baker, Dominic, and Hunt, an ordinance to abandon retained easement rights to a portion of the former right-of-way of 53rd Avenue North. Is there a motion? It's moved and second. Questions? All in favor? Bill 2014-786 is approved, and that concludes our agenda. Thank you very much for coming.
What's your cell phone number? 481-4277?
You can go.
But actually, I don't mind staying. I have a friend of mine and I are meeting later. So
Okay.
we were both just like, oh,
Hang
it
around
worked
for
till then.
I've got public safety at 5:30 and then personnel at 5:45.
Thank you for speaking to